Now let's create Mario's eyebrows. First, let's create a cube and let's move it up a little bit. Mario's face, and then let's give it a width of 5 and a subdivision width of 4, and let's scale it. And now let's put it in the area where Mario's eyebrows would be. Let's start adjusting these vertices to Mario's eye shape. Let's select these verts and rotate them. And let's just keep adjusting these guys until the eyebrow matches the image plane. Let's put an edge loop around the middle of the eyebrow. And then, okay. And then let's go to the vertex mode and give the eyebrow some dimension. Let's duplicate the left eyebrow to the right side. Let's push D to change the pivot, and then push X to center the pivot on the grid line. And let's go to duplicate special and make sure it's on copy. And let's hit duplicate special. And we now have a eyebrow on the right side. Now we're going to insert an edge loop for the eye, so we can create eye blinks later on. Adjust these vertices until they're even and smooth. Now let's work on creating Mario's mustache. Let's create a cube. Go to the move tool and set it in front of Mario's head and to the nose area. Let's scale it a little bit. Let's move some vertices and match it to the image plane. Let's go to the side view and move Mario's mustache back a little and match the image plane once again. Let's select a face on Mario's mustache and extrude it to create the second section of his mustache. Once again, move the vertices to match the image plane. Let's select these vertices and push them closer to the face. Let's select one of the faces of Mario's mustache and extrude it. And move it out a little bit more. And let's scale it. And move it up a little bit. And let's scale it a little bit more. Let's create the sharp point at the end of the mustache. Let's go to the side view and try to follow the image planes. Let's create an edge loop in each section of Mario's mustache. You notice Mario's mustache has 3 curves to it. Let's extrude the mustache here to create the first curve. Let's select these 2 faces and extrude them to create the second curve for Mario's mustache. Let's select these next two faces here and extrude them as well to create the third curve for Mario's mustache. Let's just keep moving these vertices until it matches the image plane. Let's delete the center face of the mustache. Let's hit Control 1 to isolate the mustache. And let's create an edge loop. And let's select these edges here and hit Control Delete to delete the vertices as well as the line. And then let's connect these edges. Let's create another edge loop right here and select these edges and hit Control and delete when we delete these edges and connect these lines right here. And let's keep doing that. Let's hit Control 1 to bring Mario's face back. And let's just get in there and start adjusting these vertices. let's create an edge loop here, and let's select the edges, and let's make the mustache a little bit more rounded. Let's hit Control 1 to isolate the mustache and go to the front view and select the middle vertices. Then we're going to hit X and move the vertices to align it to the center grid line. And then let's go to Mesh and Mirror. And let's make sure these parameters are correct and hit Mirror. And now we have a combined the left geometry and the right geometry of Mario's mustache. And let's hit Control 1 again to bring back Mario's head. Let's do the same thing to Mario's head. Let's select the right side and delete it. Let's select the left side and hit Control 1 to isolate it. And let's hit the one mode to select the base mesh, and let's go to select the center vertices and go to the translate tool and make sure retain component spacing is off. Select the center vertices and hit X to align it perfectly straight. Now let's go to mesh and go to the mirror tool. Make sure these settings are on, and let's mirror that. And you notice the neck area is merged, so we have to change the threshold a little bit. And there you have it. There we go. And now we have Mario's head merged together, and hit Control 1 again to go back. Now that we've merged Mario's head together, let's smooth it out a little. So let's go to Surfaces, Sculpt Geometry tool, and let's change the stroke to Reflection. And let's go to Smooth and push B and drag to change the brush size. And let's smooth out the area, or pull the area where the merging has occurred, which is in the middle of the head. Let's smooth out the area in between the eyes. And at this point, this is what your model should look like. Let's go up to the Symmetry menu on top and select Object X, and let's select the vertices on the left, it'll reflect on the right, and vice versa. And let's move some vertices and adjust them to where they need to be, and just make the mustache a little bit fuller. Let's work on creating Mario's hair. First, let's go to select Object X to mirror our selection and select some faces. I'm gonna select half his head to create the hair because we're gonna put a hat on him anyway, so it'll be kind of bald, you could say. Let's go to edit mesh and go to duplicate options and make sure separate duplicate faces is on. Duplicate. And now we have two sets of geometry, the hair and the head of Mario. I'm gonna put Mario's head into its own layer. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a layer. And let's rename Mario's head to Head Geo. And let's rename the hair to Hair Geo. And let's add Mario's head to the layer. And now we can toggle the visibility in the template and reference it. Next, let's add another layer. And let's rename layer 1 to Head. And save it. And rename layer 2 to Mustache. And save it. And now let's add the mustache to layer 2 and reference it. So we will select it in the viewport. Let's go to the head layer and go to template mode. Now select the faces of the hair and let's extrude it. Let's go to the right view and select some vertices and try to match it up with the Mario image plane. Let's go to the head layer and set it to reference. Now let's select the top of the hair and scale it in a little bit to make it conform more to the head. Let's adjust the sideburns and push them in a little more. Let's select the bottom air vertices and just scale them in a little bit. Let's select the bottom faces of the hair. And let's go to the scale tool and even that out. Now let's go to extrude and extrude the hair down and push it in a little bit. Let's extrude the hair one more time and push it in a little bit. Let's adjust these vertices in the back of the hair. Let's create the bulge area on the back of Mario's hair and turn off symmetry, and let's select half the faces of the hair and let's delete it, and let's go ahead and delete history. And now let's select some vertices and adjust it a little bit. Let's create an edge loop right here, and now let's create a sphere, and let's move it up a little bit and scale it, and let's set the subdivision axis to 8 and delete half of the bottom of the sphere. Let's scale it and move it back, and let's rotate it. Let's scale it and bring it closer to the back of Mario's hair. Rotate it a little bit. And let's delete the 2 faces of Mario's hair. And let's duplicate the sphere, half sphere, and move it aside so we can use it later. Now let's scale this half sphere a little bit bigger and combine the sphere to the hair. And let's go to target weld and weld some vertices together. We'll weld this one and this one. And let's weld this one. Next, let's add an edge loop here and go back to the target weld tool and weld these vertices. And let's select this back area with this with the half sphere and rotate it a little bit. Next, we're gonna try to merge the other half sphere to Mario's hair mesh, and let's move some vertices around first to prepare for that. First, let's delete these faces. Next, let's combine these two geometries. Go to Mesh and Combine. Next, let's go to the the Target Weld tool. And let's weld the half sphere to the geometry that's there already. Let's adjust these vertices as needed. Next, let's select some vertices in the back of the hair area and move it down a little. Now let's focus on the sideburns, and let's select the face and extrude it. And try to get to the same shape as the reference image. Let's define the sideburns a little better. Let's add 2 edge loops, and let's go to the right view and let's select some vertices and shape them to Mario's reference image. Let's duplicate Mario's hair on the left side to the right side and merge it together to create one piece. Let's go to the front view and select all the center vertices. Let's click X and the move tool to center it on the grid line. Then let's select the hair mesh and click D to change the pivot point. And let's hit X to center it. Now let's mirror Mario's hair. Let's go to Mesh, Mirror. Make sure all these settings are the same and mirror Mario's hair. Let's rename this to hair. And at this point, this is what your model should look like. In part 3, we will model the hat, assign shaders, and even render Mario's head. So I'll see you there.